Hello! So this is my second time trying to record this because my cat decided the first time he wanted to rub up against the stand that I have holding my camera, even though it sits on the floor all the time. Now, of course, it's interesting, and he seems to be settled down. You can actually see a little kitty paw right there. We'll see if he lets me continue recording, not being a grump. Anyway, so today I want to review not the Hobonichi itself, but the cover, because I see plenty of people talking about the Hobonichi, but then there's not a lot of information out there for the covers themselves. And while this is just one of the basic covers, I'm hoping that maybe it can, you know, help someone decide like, oh, well, maybe a basic cover is enough for me, or maybe I do want to get one of the premium ones, because it's kind of a, I mean, regardless of cost, like, you know, it's not easy to get the Hobonichi stuff from Japan. It can take a decent amount of time and cost just in shipping alone. So, you know, however I can be helpful, I want to be helpful. So I'm going to be reviewing one of the Hobonichi Colors covers. That's kind of like the basic baseline covers that they have. They're the cheapest ones. But they have a form factor that carries across to some of their much more expensive covers. So bear that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to talk about things I like, things that I don't like, and that will pretty much cover most of the features of the cover. So I'm not going to go through it and then talk about what I like and dislike. I'll just go through my likes and dislikes and cover the features as we get there. Okay, so things that I like. I like that there are lots of color choices for the Hobonichi covers in general. So the basic ones, these colors ones, as of now for 2015, come in black, navy, red, this pink, this kind of baby pink, really like sunshiny yellow, and then kind of a turquoisey blue, and then they go up from there. So then there are more expensive ones that come in printed patterns or stuff like that. So the basic ones come in a decent range of colors, enough I think that you can find something you like in there. It's kind of unfortunate that they change from year to year, so some of the colors that, you know, maybe if you like a color from this year, you should order it now because it might not be around next year. I also wish that there was a little bit more depth in the more neutral colors, the more kind of subdued colors, because black and navy is good, but like I wish there was a brown, or I wish there was a charcoal gray, something else that's kind of dark and neutral, but isn't one of those two colors, if that makes sense. Anyway, I do like that there's a good variety of colors, so that's good. I like that they have these little pen holders. So this is kind of like one of the really distinctive features is this kind of little butterfly pen holder thing. And what's cool about this is there's one attached to the back cover and one attached to the front cover. And I've seen some people use them to put two pens in, right? You just kind of pull them like that and you put two pens in there. Great. I use it, I think, kind of the way that it was more so intended, where I put a pen through, of course I don't have a pen here, but I put a pen through both loops like that. And then that kind of keeps the cover shut, because if there's a pen going through both loops, the cover can't open. And these pen loops are nice and long. You can see they're pretty long. So that, you know, if you're one of those people who's pasting a lot of things in here, it can get pretty big and chunky before you can't fit the pen loops, fit a pen through both pen loops. So that is a really great feature, and I really enjoy that. And it's something that I feel like a lot of, I guess, the Hobonichi covers that are available not through Hobonichi are missing, is a good pen loop. I like that there are bookmarks. So I think pretty much every Hobonichi cover that I've seen has two bookmarks in it. The colors ones have two different little end dealy boppers on them, a triangle and a square. So you can distinguish them. I honestly can't distinguish them I can never remember which one is in the back and which is in the front. I guess the triangle is the one in the back and the square is the one in the front. But, you know, I usually just grab the one that's in the back, and that opens me right up to my day. So I like that there are bookmarks built into the cover. That's really nice. I like that there are lots of pockets, right? So on this guy, on the colors ones, there's a big long pocket in the back, which is decently sized. Like I fit these little like 6-inch tall sheets of notepaper in there, so it's decently sized. You could also put, I think I've put cash back there before if I want to have a couple dollars just in my notebook. On the back, there's this kind of like open pocket, and then there's this longer slot pocket, and then, you know, there's the pocket where the notebook itself slides into. And then in the front, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots where you can put cards and stuff. And then there's a long pocket here, which actually isn't very deep. It only goes back to the edge of these card slots. And then, of course, behind there, there's the pocket that the notebook fits into. So I like that there's lots of options for pockets and places to put cards. Like if you wanted to use it as your wallet, I don't. I just put little pieces of paper and stuff like that in there. But you have lots of options, and I like having options. Another thing that I really like is that it's made to fit the Hobonichi. You know, I reviewed that other cover that just so happens to fit the Hobonichi, which is great. But I like that these covers, you know, if you order it, you know it's going to fit because they're made for each other. So that's really nice. And this cover is made specifically to add functionality to your Hobonichi the way the Hobonichis are made. So I like that. You know, it's kind of drinking the Hobonichi Kool-Aid, but what can you do? Things that I don't like. I actually like and dislike the bookmarks, partly because I find that where the bookmarks attach to the top, and let's see if I can get this guy to focus. So they're attached, maybe it'll work better if I open it. They're attached flat, and then they kind of have to make this turn to get into the notebook. And sometimes I feel like that can be really awkward. So I don't love that. I also don't love that. Let's see if I can get this guy here. One of my bookmarks has gotten stained from ink, which is not the bookmark's fault at all. That's totally my fault, but it is annoying that it's not hard for your bookmarks to get stained if you shut it too early and your ink is wet. Another thing that I dislike, so you might notice I don't have the cover on cover, that kind of plastic slip jacket on here anymore, because the cover on cover adds a couple of millimeters around, you know, to the top and bottom and then to the width of it. And I don't like that. I don't like how, it seems like it's not a big deal, but it is. To me, it's a big deal. And I don't like that extra size that's added. Luckily, you know, this is a lighter colored cover. And I was kind of afraid that it was going to get dingy looking without the cover on it, and other than the cat hair that seems to be all over it. You know, I've had it without the cover on for about a week now, and it seems to be doing okay. The only place that seems to get dingy is kind of along the pen loops. The tops of the pen loops are getting a little dirty, but I mean, you know, it's made to be used. Why would I, you know, I don't want to keep it in pristine forever because it's made to be used. Let's see, another thing that this isn't so much a dislike, but something I would like to see. So these butterfly clasps are really cool. But I would love it if there was an option to have a snap closure instead of these guys. Because sometimes I don't want to put a pen in there, but I want my notebooks to stay shut. So it'd be nice if there was an option along the cheaper ones for a snap closure. There is among the more expensive ones, but those are, again, more expensive. And it can, okay, so then the last thing that I dislike is that it's easy for this guy to get bulky if you put a lot of cards in the card slots on front. So right now I kind of have a couple of business cards and things. So I have something in every single slot. And even now, like this front section here is starting to get a little bulky. And the same with the back. You know, I don't have much in there, but if you're really sticking a lot of stuff in there, it's easy for the cover by itself to get bulky. And then, you know, if you're putting a lot of stuff in those pockets, you're probably also putting a lot of stuff in the notebook itself. So it's easy for it to balloon in size. So there's that. So let's see. Another thing, this isn't a gripe really about the cover itself, but you know, they aren't cheap. Right now they are about 1,600 yen, which I believe is roughly $15 to $16 US. So I mean, you know, they are relatively cheap in terms of, you know, this kind of hobby goes. But then, you know, you have to pay for shipping from Japan. And if you're going to buy one, then it makes more sense to buy two to save on shipping and time and all that. So they're not affordable in terms of time and money necessarily. Like it's harder to say, oh, I'm kind of bored with this cover, I want a new one, I'm just going to go pick another one up, because you have to order them from Japan. And if you don't live in Japan, that's kind of a pain. So that's an annoyance, but it's not a gripe against the cover itself. It's just an annoyance with how things work when you live in a global world. I also wish that they didn't change so much from year to year, and it was, you know, you could get past year's designs. But again, I understand how that works. You know, it's not a gripe against the company or the product. I mean, it's just, that's how it goes. So you know, if I get a Hobonichi next year, I will probably stick with this kind of colors cover. It is kind of like a polyester nylon-y kind of thing, so it's slick on the front. And it's durable. Like, it feels like it will hold up, which I like. Some of their other ones, they seem to make it sound like you have to be super delicate with them, which I'm just not really that interested in doing. Plus, like, there's no, like, reviews of covers out there. Like, I don't know that I've ever seen any other reviews for covers of the Hobonichi, whether they are bought through Hobonichi itself or through third-party sellers. But I would love to see more out there. So if you have a Hobonichi and you have maybe one of the more, premium covers, or you maybe have a cover that you got made specially for it, a leather cover or something like that, I'd love to see more reviews out there because, I'm maybe in the market for like a leather cover for mine. But, I don't know anything about what's available. I've seen the ones from One Star Leather and they look great, but I don't know anything about them. It's all there is what's on the Etsy, and that's it. And I'd love to know more. I'd love to know how people feel about them and stuff like that. So, or, like the leather ones through Hobonichi. I've seen the Angus one, which is the tweed and leather one that I think looks so cool. But again, how do people like it? I don't know anything about it. And Hobonichi doesn't exactly like post reviews on their website or anything. So it's tough. It's tough to make that kind of commitment when you don't know anything about it. So, that's my review of the just basic colors cover. Again, if you have a different cover, let us know what you think. I think, there are so many people out there who have these notebooks. We should start building a knowledge base, because even if, okay, well, they don't have this exact style next year, they might have something similar that uses similar materials. And then it's a good reference to say, well, last year this person liked it, so maybe I'll like it, as well this year. So, maybe as a Hobonichi community, let's start reviewing the covers, because we all love the notebooks, but a naked notebook is no fun, and, a cover is the funnest accessory for it. So hopefully that made sense. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you later.